Good afternoon, everybody. How are you today? And welcome to the latest edition of Drew Mania Live. Nice to have you with us on this Friday, the 25th day of May, the year 2018. And of course, this is yours truly, Andrew L. Perry. Thank you very much, as always, coming to you live and at you from the busy streets of beautiful Brooklyn, New York. And today, I am inside the campus of Long Island University, located in downtown Brooklyn, as I chat to you what is happening in the world of sports. Well, the main focus today that we're going to discuss is a crucial Game 6 between the Boston Celtics and the Cleveland Cavaliers, and we all know the Celtics are not exactly world warriors as they lead the series 3-2, and the Celtics looking to climb one more hill, and that is to the NBA Finals, their first NBA Finals appearance since 2010. It is hard, about 8 years ago, which is hard to fathom. But the question is, could the Celtics? Could the Cavs forced a Game 7 and go back to Boston? But before we get into the Eastern Conference Final, before we get into tonight's game, let's recap Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Houston Rockets and the Golden State Warriors. Now listen. As far as the Rockets goes, it was a very interesting. It really was a very good, exciting game. Not just Game 4, but Game 5. Once again, this Game 5 was not a blowout. Yes, it wasn't a blowout last night. It was a Game 5 series, I should say, how it's supposed to be, because the Rockets at one point. First of all, the Rockets came out in the first half. I have to admit, you didn't like I'm with Charles and Shaq when they say they didn't like the energy. Their energy was a little flat. It really was. And they missed so many shots, this Rockets team. And honestly, if they would have made their shots, the game would have been at like a 30 point lead, because what the Rockets and the Warriors could do when they make their shots, they could blow teams out. They could really blow teams out. And they missed so many shots. And James Harden made his shots, but the guy who really was the force yesterday in my eyes was Eric Gordon. Because if Eric Gordon wasn't firing on cylinders from three, I don't think the Rockets would have won this game. And what the Rockets did this series is challenge the Golden State Warriors, make the Warriors sweat. Because everybody who watch basketball, whether you like the Warriors or not, know the Warriors are a better team. No question about it. They have a better roster, and they have a lot of shooters. We get that, okay? And all we ask for the Houston Rockets is to not only be competitive, make them sweat, make the Warriors sweat, make the Warriors work for it. And what they did, and what the Rockets did last night, they don't have to win. They don't have to win tomorrow. They could win at home. They could win Game 6 or win Game 7. Because either way, it favors the Houston Rockets now. It really favors the Houston Rockets. And Chris Paul is not the first time Chris Paul has been injured with the hamstring, and as the hamstring towards the end of the game was bothering him, and and in the multiple in the final minute. Let me go forward to the final minutes. It was the final possession. No, it was close to the final possession before Steve Kerr took a timeout. Chris Paul was holding his hamstring. He was shaking up. The Warriors was going to take it back, and it was under like 50 seconds left, and 50 seconds on the clock. I'm not too sure on top of my head, but anywho, they gave it to Lure and Draymond Green. I don't remember who made the shot on top of my head, but the Rockets was fortunate. They really dodged a bullet. Let me just say that they really dodged a bullet in the two final possessions. Okay, and the final possession after the timeout, Draymond Green gotta pay attention. And you know what's the funny part? The funny part to me, they didn't pass it to Kevin Durant. Whose wingspan is off the charts. The largest wingspan in the NBA. And he ain't passed it to Kevin Durant in the final possession? That really surprised me. It really did. It really surprised me. It really surprised me. But nonetheless, the Rockets took care of home business and needed this game more than the Warriors did. Now, the pressure is on Golden State. And let me add this too, and let's keep this in mind. The Warriors, since signing Kevin Durant, had never, dare I say, never faced an adversity like this. Remember, the Warriors, since Kevin Durant haven't faced an elimination since when he was at the Thunder. And to me, Kevin Durant got to show if is he a clutch player? Because say what you want about Kevin Durant, one thing Kevin Durant haven't not shown me and the rest of the NBA world that he come through the most in the when the kitchen gets too hot for you. How are you going to respond? How Kevin Durant is going to respond? You came to Golden State to win a championship. It's no secret. But now, Kevin Durant got to show the whole entire world and you and I how you going to respond. How you going to respond when it matters most? Because the rest of the Warriors team, they have done it before. Let's see how Kevin Durant respond right here. Now, as far as the Rockets, Chris Paul, like I said before, Chris Paul injury is not a huge loss, to be honest with you. But at the same time, Chris Paul, let's face it, Chris Paul hasn't played well in this conference finals. He hasn't. He really hasn't. If you really look at it, he's not having a good series. And James Harden is always going to get his points, but Eric Gordon, PJ Tucker, and the supporting cast and Trevor Ariza, they have to pick it up. And Capella have to continue to make his presence known. If the Rockets played the way they did in Game 4, Game 5, they will win Game 6. Despite the fact winning in the Encore Arena is not an easy place at all. Not an easy place at all. And let me say this. Andre Iguodala is the heart and soul of that Golden State Warriors team. If you don't buy that, watch the rest of the games. Klay Thompson yeah, he had his moments, but he's not the same. But he's no Andre. None of these players are not Andre Iguodala. Let's not forget Andre. This is the same Andre Iguodala who won when they won their first NBA title. He was your Finals MVP. Let's not forget about that. But having said all that, honestly, I like the Rockets' chance. Either Game 6 or 7. But I think the Rockets could wrap it up tomorrow. I really do. Now, as tonight, the Celtics and the Cavs, you know what? I will be shocked. I really will be shocked and stunned if the Celtics wrap this series tonight. I really would. Because there's no secret. The Celtics has not been playing. The Celtics is a different team on the road. They really are. And if the Cavs gonna keep that, if LeBron and the Cavs gonna force the seventh game and win the seventh game in Boston, where it's a lot of history and a lot of goals of the Celtics pride, a lot of mystique in Boston. Okay, LeBron cannot do it by himself. The supporting cast, we all know the supporting cast has been terrible. Okay? Say whatever you want. It's been terrible, flat out garbage. It really has. Tristan Thompson has been a no-show. Jordan Hill has done nothing. Jordan Clarkson has done nothing. J.R. Smith has done nothing. All the rest of the cast have done nothing. And this cannot continue. LeBron cannot pull off put up triple doubles and expect the Cavs to win. Despite the fact this Cavs team has been playing all season long. And Boston, and as far as the Celtics, let's see some energy on the road. Let's see that same energy on the road. Al Horford, and I'm not talking about the Sixers have to give away the game. Now they gotta earn it. This is not the Sixers that you played in the Eastern Conference semis. Cleveland have been there and done that, and they have won before. So they know how it is to face elimination. And Tyronn Lue, Kyle Korver, he got made. Kyle Korver, when Kyle Korver makes his shots, when we see Kyle Korver make his shots, the Cavs will do well. And we got to see Kyle Korver, the sharpshooter, tonight. We got to see it tonight if you're Cleveland. Otherwise, the LeBron going for his